Hey, my name is Levi Schofield, and for this last video, I'm going to be summarizing the overarching themes and experiences from my final paper, which reflected on the evolution of my networking abilities throughout this semester. At the onset of the paper, I began by telling a story of some sorts, a story that went back in time in order to gain perspective on the person that I've become by analyzing the person that I was. Up until these last few months, I was really a very introverted person, which is something that I highlighted in this section of the paper. Most importantly, I looked at a personality test that I took 2 years ago that planted me firmly on the side of an introvert. The questionnaire described me as someone who feels comfortable being alone and that I like things I can do on my own, that I spend sometimes too much time reflecting and don't move into action quickly enough. And undoubtedly, and somewhat regrettably, these results were really very accurate. I was that awkward, quiet kid who was always studying alone or burying my head in books for much of my high school career. But as orientation rolled around, for some reason I had this yearning to overcome this shyness and take risks and branch out. So I signed up for LinkedIn, and honestly, it's really been a turning point for me and my ability to interact with people. Through hands-on experience, observation, and analysis, LinkedIn has motivated and empowered me to connect with others in ways that were previously untapped and out of reach. Although at first, through those first few classes, it didn't really seem like much was going to change. Sure, I was able to connect with my fellow classmates when I was able to hide behind the mandatory nature of the interaction, if that makes sense, but as soon as I left the classroom, this confidence just disappeared. However, as anything worthwhile often demands, continual practice proved to bolster my tenacity to take risks, and through assignments and feedback provided by LinkedIn, these experiences gave me the necessary confidence to venture off that well-worn path that I had been relegated to so strictly previously. Which leads me to what I believe to be the most beneficial aspect of the course for me personally, and that came in the form of an awakening to the benefits that can arise from frequently stepping outside of one's comfort zone to take risks, experience new things, and form new relationships in the process. Looking back through my journals, I was able to pinpoint kind of the exact moment that this revelation occurred. After the fourth week of classes for our journal assignment that week, we were instructed to identify the things that are most important to us in our college years and what change we wanted to see in ourselves. In response, I wrote something to the effect of that I realized that I needed to build relationships outside of the classroom in order to succeed. So the networking skills, like using the networking skills that have been instilled in me, I began to search for opportunities to expand my network of contacts and increase my level of involvement on campus. Since then, I've become involved in a number of programs with new connections, unearthing more and more opportunities each day. Whether it's been participating in various club meetings, attending networking events and seminars, or competing in upcoming ethics competitions, the techniques that I've developed through LinkedIn have uncovered a version of myself that was hidden behind excessive introspection and silence. The amalgamation between the observation of successful communicators and the application of analyzing the three institutional components of any initial interaction, i.e., attention, interest, credibility, has become an integral part of getting the most out of my college experience. Lastly, in the paper, to really highlight the change that has occurred, I took another personality test similar to the one I completed 2 years ago, and the results were as follows. I scored a 55 out of 100, whereas previously that number was closer to a 25. I've kind of arrived at that butter zone, as Daniel Pink would call it, between introversion and extroversion, and honestly, I think that really speaks for itself. LinkedIn has been a crucial element in giving me the confidence to break out of my comfort zone and achieve success in places that I would otherwise be unable to gain access to. So to wrap all this up, it is the last video after all. I just want to say thank you. The feedback that I've gotten from everyone in this class has played a major role in all this. Anyways, thanks for taking the time to listen to this, and thank you for a great semester. I look forward to seeing you all again soon.